just need to make sure. We are now logging in. Let's go ahead and take a look at the good old Twitter page real quick. Always got to do your tech checks before you really jump off. Um, Hold on.
Bro, what the fuck is happening?
What you mean?
It was a joke, bro. What the fuck
Oh,
is happening?
oh yeah, we can get into that. Let's go ahead. Okay, the stream is up. If you guys could go ahead and retweet that, that'd be awesome. Our guest is on her way, but we're gonna go ahead and jump into it here. Today we are going to be featuring our dear friend Camskiiii, who you may know out in the wild on crypto Twitter. She's everywhere creating content. Also the co-founder of Mood Labs, which we'll let her talk about more so once she jumps in here. But it is the Liquidium Lunch Club, and today we are joined by our CMO here, Jay, and our analytics expert guru and anything you need to know, Mr. Shudu. How are you boys doing today?
Well, I'm good. I'm good. Just vibing, uh, Xing off some tasks on my task board and yeah, enjoying the lunch club with you while my food is being prepared in the kitchen.
And what are you gonna have?
I got some pasta arrabbiata,
Ooh,
some spicy pasta arrabbiata. Um, but yeah,
dang, that sounds
that's what
good.
I'm getting.
Shudu, how about you, sir? What you working with over there?
Hey man, I'm just chilling. Got some coffee here because I need to go to gym later. I've been trying to gain as much as Bitcoin is gaining. I figured if Bitcoin keeps gaining and I'm slim, doesn't go hand in hand. So, unfortunately, this stream happens too early for me to drink anything. So, got my coffee and I'm good. That's all I need actually. The bull market is feeding me. That's what I need at this
I
point in
hear
time.
that. I hear that for sure, for sure. Nah, I myself am actually working with some chicken and potatoes over here on some Shudu stuff. About time to get the gains back up this summer. Get ready for running fit condition. I think the other half of that though is getting enough exercise, and that could be arguable if I'm doing that. And I am working with. We just popped one of these. We got a spicy hard cider. Shudu, I know you're a fan of ciders, so cheers to you, brother. Cheers, Jay. Our friend here is Camskiii's in the building. She's getting ready. Ooh, what you working with? Mio Mio? I think you're on mute there, Jay.
Mio Mio Matcha tea. Good one.
Ooh, okay. Look at that
Good one.
plug. Are you sponsored?
Yeah, I'm sponsored. Yeah, sorry for that.
Big bread, big
Yeah.
bread. That's what we like to
They
see.
they paying me. They paying me in BTC, so it's fine.
Oh, fat dude.
I'm brand ambassador. You know.
Bet. Say less, King. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and jump into some fun. Before we hand things off over to Kamski and jump into her story and everything, we have King Shudu in the building. We want to utilize his time most appropriately. So, Shudu, I would love to chat with you a little bit and see what you're seeing on the analytic sides of things to get us right today, man.
Yes, sir. Let me go ahead and share my screen here.
Perfect.
I'm gonna try and be quick. The thing is, when we're winning, there's nothing much to talk about, which is just so ever beautiful. So I only take time if we're not in a good state. So now everything is in a good state. But I do think there's some alpha that at least some people might find interesting. And welcome, Kemsky. Wait, I can't see. I'm hoping Kemsky is here. Is she
Yeah,
here?
she
No,
is.
I don't
She's
see
in
her.
the audience still. I think she said she was setting something up on her end first before she joins the stage. Okay, let's see what we got going on
Okay.
here.
Can you see my screen?
Perfect.
Okay. So yeah, we back. Everything is looking pretty healthy. You can see here already this week we've done 80% of the volume compared to what we did last week. There's been a lot of volume pushing on the the usual stuff. There's been a lot of people just doing instant loans,
Mm.
which is pretty sick. You can just see this already this week we're sitting at 1.8. Last week was 2.55. So again, also here, we're pushing much higher. Interesting enough, there's some people who are still pushing some manual loans, especially the biggest ones. And you can see already the instant loan from this month is 13% higher from the one from previous month. And all that nonsense, which is cool. However, what I wanted to highlight is this part here, because I think this is very interesting with regards to what's happening in the space. Let me just switch this here. You will see here that you have something called CV, which is just like some statistical nonsense. What it means really, coefficient variance, what it really means is that how volatile are assets. They can be upwards or downwards. So right now what we're seeing is that OMB is very volatile. It's actually the most volatile collection on the ordinal side. Upwards though, because it's going upwards. However, what this means is that there's a huge risk that you're taking on right now with OMBs.
Mm.
So probably if you are a borrower and we have a lot of liquidity available for OMB, not financial advice, but if you're a borrower and there's a lot of liquidity on OMB and you want to hedge your position, it might make sense just to do that simply because right now it has a lot of risk because of the CV is very high. So that means the values that you see now compared to the average flow of OMB, they are very high. The standard deviation is too high. So I just wanted to highlight that if you're a borrower and you've got like some OMBs in your wallet, there are lenders who are willing to take on the risk. It might be worth just borrowing against them and waiting it out a couple of days to see what would happen, because most likely the flow might correct. I'm not saying it's going to happen, not financial advice. I don't want you to get people to come with me, but that is what we're seeing. So just, and if you're a lender, and you're over leveraged there, you might want to rethink that position.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean that's mostly what we're seeing. We have other stuff here going on, but you will see that none of this collection are worth mentioning really in that sense. This is fairly new collection. You've got Purpose, for example. If you compare OMB and Purpose, you can see that they are volatile. This is actually very high volatility, but compared to something like OMB, which is very good. Again, it's on the upside, but it just means that what goes down, what goes up must come down. So if you're a borrower and you've got some collateral there, hey man, make smart decisions. That's what I'm saying. This past 7 days. And yeah, that's mostly it. I don't think there's anything else I can touch on. I mean, except that low default rates lately, which is always great. It just means people are repaying. So if you're a lender, especially this week, because we're in a bull market, you can see here number of repaid loans. Everything is going well. So even today, you can see only 2 loans defaulted compared to 67 which were repaid. This week, 5 loans defaulted compared to 377 which were repaid. So you're probably sitting well and nice at the moment. So yeah, that's that.
No, that's legit. I had a quick question. What is the sentiment right now in terms of volume and everything on the Taproot Wizards? I know it's been hot topic ever since they dropped. What are we seeing there? And have Quantum Cats picked back up any in terms of volume? I know they're hot for a while on here, but haven't had a chance to see what the progress has been over the last few weeks there.
For example, in terms of Taproot Wizards, the volume is not exactly going crazy, and I guess this just means that borrowers are very confident in what they are holding in terms of Taproot Wizards. So they are not willing to even lend, I think, borrow against that, which I guess is very good for Taproot Wizards. For example, last week we saw that even this week you will see here, there are a lot of people who are putting offers out saying, hey, we need you can see here the volume very low. Again, there are a lot of people putting offers saying, "Hey, can you please give us your quantum cats, your Taproot Wizards?" You'll see here, Taproot Wizards saying, "Hey, can you please give us your Taproot Wizards?" But people are just not, borrowers are just not coming in. Lenders are there, borrowers are just not really coming in. You'll see here only 0.2 volume borrowed from 8 May, but you can see there's 12.1 Bitcoin sitting from the lender side saying we will take it. So it's just borrowers are not willing to do that. Again, this just means there's a lot of confidence from Taproot Wizards holders right now, and there's also a lot of demand from the lenders who are looking to grab some of these Taproot Wizards at a cheaper price than what it is. But I guess borrowers are just not falling for that. They're probably like that's bullshit. I'm not doing that. So that's how it looks over there. like I said, that means it's actually like, that also means that if you're a lender and someone accepts your Temple Wizards offer, you probably want to accept that because you're not going to get a lot of offers and opportunities like that. Just FYI there. I mean, I would say quantum cats are doing better than last week, but it's not crazy amounts yet, but they're definitely doing better than last week. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that update there. Thank you, sir. Jay, did you
Yes,
have any
sir.
questions here? No, perfect, perfect. Cam, how about you? Welcome to the stage.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, cool. It's the first time like streaming Discord actually. Yeah, cool to be here. Interesting stats. Definitely, it's always cool to see kind of like the behind the scenes of what happens in the market. I feel like Liquidium definitely can give you a pulse on what's happening and a lot of clarity in that sense. Like when we look on marketplaces, we know that a lot of the value in volume that we see may be inflated. It may not be necessarily like organic volume or representing exact numbers of like what's happening, but Liquidium definitely gives you an extra, let's say, confirmation of maybe which direction we're going and so on. So yeah, non-financial advice, but definitely great information to have at hand. And yeah, it was cool to listen to you guys. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, of course. No, I completely agree with everything that you said there. I don't know if Jay or Shudu want to touch on this. Jay, that looks amazing, by the way.
The spaghettis, are you eating?
Yeah, it's a lunch club, so I got some arrabbiata ready.
Oh shit, I forgot.
Yes,
Like it's dinner. I'm in Dubai, so it's like
you-
dinner time. I should have ordered something. Although, like, I don't know about eating on the street.
Hey, that's what we. Hey,
but I mean,
chicken, grease, and potatoes.
for, but for you,
I have a
dinner
good
is later.
mic. Yeah, I have a really good mic, so you're gonna hear me like crunch. I don't know if that's like the most. I don't know. I feel bad for the audience, but it's like some ASMR.
Yeah, that's a different
Yeah.
stream. Hold on.
No, but just to follow up on that, I think what you said, Kamski, with our data, you see like a much better representation of sentiment and so on, as we basically display the real floor price compared to like marketplaces, because you see, okay, this is the amount people are willing to lend against different collections or runes. So once I'm talking to Shudo all the time, I'm like, oh, give me that data, and that's really interesting to see. Obviously, most of the stuff is online too, so people can just check it.
They check it.
Now,
Like,
also
say if
just
I
to add
wanted
on
to.
that. No, so you can go, Cam.
No, I was just wondering, like, where can I have this? Where can I go and check it? If I'm like new to this, like, where can I find this info?
We've got most of this available on Dune. Whatever is not available on Dune, if you ask us or just DM me, we have endpoints available. Not for everyone, because some people will just spam them, but we give out, there's a lot of people who do analytics and we give them endpoints for stats and stuff like that. Even if you talk the likes of Dogfather, would give you the whatever info, but most of it will try and make it available via Dune. I think James just shared a link over there. And if you need some custom analytics, you can hit us up, and when we're not fighting fires, I'll build something. I'll add something. I don't mind. So yeah, it's cool. I'll do that. But one more thing before I jump off and tell more time. Instant loans are doing incredibly well. You can see yesterday we reached an all-time high. So great reception there. Again, if you are a borrower and you're looking for liquidity, if you're not using instant loans, I do not know. I mean, I don't want to call people names here because I don't know. I might be banned from the LLC. But there's something wrong with you. You can see here, great reception, liquidity. It's like a lot of volume here, and liquidity is available. If you look down here, there's available liquidity and use liquidity. So they are doing incredibly well. And also, if you look at the runes in general, they're doing incredibly well. And this is more in line with what the top runes in the market, which is also very healthy. It means no one is watch trading. Anyway, that's my monologue. Thank you. Cheers.
No, that's beautiful. The one follow-up question I want to give, not specifically on the data presented, but on the web page. Maybe Jay wants to speak to this just real quick. What's going on with the Liquidium WTF whole thing there?
I mean, what's going on? What the fuck is going on? I mean, yeah, you obviously saw that small rebrand to Liquidium WTF. That's our new handle, Liquidium WTF. Obviously, slightly different landing page and so on, as this product is built by Degens for the Degens. Um, Obviously, we are choosing that route, and it's amazing to see the feedback we got from the community and so on. Obviously, there's a new Liquidium Fi account around. So for everyone else, join that account to see, look for updates and so on. Biggest update will be in Vegas 28th. Um, Sign up there, get notified. There will be rumors as it that there will be a live stream going on. So yeah, that's all I can say. But obviously, yes, small rebrand. Also, the app domains have changed. So bookmark the new app domain. We also communicated that publicly today. Um, Besides that, obviously we're still transitioning, so links are changed in different articles and so on. But like most of the stuff is done, and yeah, um, now we will be having basically two products. One is more for the Debian side of things. One is more for more conservative people and so on. But yeah, I'm hyped to roll this out. And obviously, there's so much more going on, but we will cover that later on regarding events and so on, right? So that's the quick TLDR.
Appreciate the word there, Jay. Thank you. I hope that gave a little bit more to those who are wondering what was going on there. So let's go ahead and slide into our featured person of the day. We have Camskiiii here, co-founder of Mood Labs. And let me go ahead and just share this screen here. Cam, whenever you are ready, feel free to, give people a little bit of an introduction into who you are, your background, how you got into crypto, and the how and why behind Mood Labs. I would love to hear that. I think a lot of our crypto Twitter native folks would too. I'm not sure that you've really talked about it all that much. I know you have a bit on the Trio show there. But I think a lot of people have seen you online. They love your presence. You bring a smile to folks every day. You throw in some Pokemon, as you have a Psyduck back there right now.
I actually got my,
Oh, you got
like,
the Gengar.
he's here with me.
I got my
He's my emotional
over
support.
here, but that's about it.
My son.
Yeah. If you would like to introduce your son, by all means, it's a family affair.
Yeah, me Gengar.
Gengar.
So yeah, so like I've actually went on Doug Father's show not so long ago and told my story. So if you've heard already, well, you can listen again or just skip through. But basically, first time I heard about crypto was university. I mean, friends were purchasing things that were difficult to obtain web. And so that was kind of like the first time I've heard of this, new, like currency, let's say. But it took me a few years afterwards to actually like buy my first, BTC. Back then, I think I bought my first coins were like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and then some still exist and some didn't. But yeah, my first, like, let's say like the first trade I ever made was back in like early 2017, and I owe it to actually one of my best friends. He after university he started trading, he started mining, he set up a whole mining operation. This was back in like 2015, 16, and then he was basically preaching about Bitcoin, about crypto, and we started seeing that he was making a lot of money. So it kind of at some point it was like, okay, we have to get into this as well. And ended up setting up Kraken. Looked very different back then, and just like bought coin, huddled. I wasn't involved in crypto Twitter at all. Actually, just started like tweeting and getting back and, fully into the community, I think in like 2021 or like during COVID. But back then I remember like following some crypto accounts they had given me, but it was like nothing like this. I was like a complete noob and just lurking. But, it was like really exciting. And, I think everybody that got in at that time could definitely to the fact that it felt like, you were going to change the world and you're part of this revolution. And it was, very edgy in a way. I also was working at Bloomberg, so it kind of felt, it was like this contrast between, just working for like a big corporate that was powering most of financial institutions that we know today, and just being part of, this kind of more underground movement, let's say that, is not that underground. It was not, because, you see all the big financial institutions are piling up and they hold Bitcoin. And back then, Jamie Dimon was talking about Bitcoin and like buying and manipulating the price. So there was, it was still, it's not as institutionalized as it is today. And, we are moving very closely to a model of, Bitcoin being like a structured financial product. There's a lot built around that. But back then, it wasn't. It was, it represented to me, it represented freedom, it represented change. It was a very like optimistic it gave me like a really optimistic outlook upon life. So I really loved it. And, like everybody was excited. I was living in London. Like everyone was talking about crypto. Like I would go to the gym, like the smoothie, the person that was making you a smoothie after your workout was like, telling you how he put in like his mortgage into crypto. Like I've heard some crazy shit, not just
That's
the
not a
usual.
top signal.
I mean, so this was like, so I moved to London. I got in crypto, I think like May or April 2017. That's where I first bought. And then I moved to London. That was like my first job after uni. Like summer. So I started in July, and that's where like it started like really popping, and then led off to, I think, what was the top of that year? Like January,
Yeah. Yep.
December, it was
Yeah.
crazy. Like everybody and their mom was like talking about this.
That was wild.
Like I remember I was going to the gym and I would hear someone talk about crypto, and I was like, oh, you too. And then you'd go into the whole, it was really fun. I met a lot of people through that. I was like, honestly, it's like, playing Pokemon Go before that, you would make friends, and then it's like, so anyways, and then obviously everything crashes, it goes, you kind of forget a little about it, and then COVID hits, and I was just trading again. And then back then I left my job. The corporate life was honestly like too much for me. It was great, but I got the opportunity of joining a very early stage, like pre-MVP startup, and together we launched a marketplace. And this marketplace had a community, and that was my first, although I have to say Bloomberg is the first social network in some ways, but that was my first, hands-on sort of experience of actually building a community from scratch. And from both sides, we were a B2B, B2C kind of platform. It was an AI platform. It's still around. It's still killing it. If you're in New York, check out Nora AI. It's great. It gives you, it pivoted many times. So basically we built like a community from scratch. I was managing them, onboarding people, doing all the same kind of things that we're doing now, but much slower. Like Web 2 is much slower. The life cycle of these communities are longer in a sense. Like you can see a community crash and burn in Web 3 in like a space of a few months. In Web 3, everything takes more time. It's like more effort. You have a more personal, let's say, relationship in some kind of way, but it's still like a digital experience that we were like creating it. And I really love that aspect. I've always been like a people person. I love to figure out like what are the dynamics that move and motivate people and so on. And so after that, like it took a break from work during COVID. I was in Bali and then started trading NFTs with my housemate. This was like summer 2021. So, well, first of all, on Clubhouse, like everybody was like talking about NFTs, like you could see punks around and stuff, apes. And then, started trading NFTs on Solana. And, we were in Bali, like it was COVID. There weren't that many people. NFTs were hot. Everybody was talking about it. Me and my housemate were like, okay, we're on a work break, but this is cool. Let's just, we want to get into it. And so she started initially working for a big like influencer back then. And then we were trying to set up a team basically to build our own project. But while doing it, I got in touch with a friend. He was building a very similar type of project. And instead of going through the whole fundraising rounds, setting up and managing, devs and so on, which we would have been like way over our head with this, we joined that project. Didn't end up launching, unfortunately, but it was pretty cool. And then and that's where Mood Labs was born. But initially it wasn't. So initially Mood Labs was called Mood Academy, and that came from a typo. So Moods was meant to be mod, and it was meant to be Mod Academy. The vision we had for our company was more not about marketing, but it was more about providing a sort of, let's say like an academy for people to work in Web3. So we saw there was a big gap. At the time, it was really hard to find people. Everybody was caught up. Like all devs were busy. It was really tough to like hire a solid team. And so we thought of creating a way of like just training people, have an academy, set them up, like what do you need to be a mod, a CM and all that. But it just evolved into being we just kept on doing marketing and getting more clients through word of mouth. And it was more like it felt more like a project, like the company wasn't incorporated, like, all of us kind of started in the beginning. And then during the bear, kind of went through a reset where a lot of the clients we had either didn't launch or died or shut down and so on. And that was I felt I was at a point where I could decide whether, carry on and build on top of what we had, or quit. Like all my family and friends were saying, like, what are you still doing crypto? It's a dead industry. Like market's down. Like why are you still there? I had conviction. I knew this was the place that, I felt like there was something I could still grow with. And I felt really excited about, even if it was, like quite tough, during the bear. It was quite an extended period. And that's where, Moods came in. And at first he was just helping me, make a deck, make a website and so on. And then it just started becoming more. And we saw that like things were picking up. You kind of get proof of concept when you get the right team or you're going in the right direction. Like the universe will give you signs that this is, what you're doing is correct. Like what you're doing is good. And so we kept on building on top. And then, that's where we decided, okay, we need to set up this company. And we moved to Dubai to do it. And, now we're like working. It's been an adventure, but it's like, and yeah, we pushed through and we're grinding, and Ordinals happened. We got into Ordinals. We really love this community. Also, we had to become, we had to take it somewhere, right? Like it's a pretty saturated industry in a way, especially for a marketing agency. So we had to find an edge, right? And we're very culture focused. Like we love culture. We understand, ourselves. So we wanted to find a place where we could still grow within and that wasn't like too saturated. And we love Ordinals. We love Bitcoin. That's where everything started. And one thing led to another. And now we're deep into Bitcoin and an agency. We're working with Trio. We also work with you guys and so on. So yeah, I think this this sums up a little bit like the journey, let's say, of Mood Labs. Started off as a typo, but now it's a proper full. By the way, we're going through a rebrand. The website, like, remove that, take it off, because we're gonna have a new website. I cannot look at it anymore. I cringe every time I see it. But we're getting a new website. It's being developed, so you'll hopefully before Vegas we'll be able to unveil it. But But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I see Dogfather in the audience. I know you heard the story again. I hope this gives you like maybe a different angle. But yeah.
Yeah, just for the, I think the typo is like it happened perfectly, right? Because like Mood
Yeah, for
Labs
sure.
is like the okay, like obviously mod academy and so on, but like Mood Labs is like okay, what's the mood? Like how are people feeling? Like how do we communicate stuff that the mood is kind of good in a way? I don't know. So I for me it
Yeah, for
resonates a
sure.
lot. Like I love the name, and I was thinking that you spent hours basically looking for the name, and now you said it's like
No,
just a
absolutely
typo.
not. It was a typo. It was a typo. And it worked out perfectly because marketing is psychology at the end of the day. It's, what is marketing? Ultimately, you are influencing people to take action or to think of your brand in a certain way. So you are, putting things into place and using tools, whether it's branding, it's colors, it's fonts, it's KOLs, it's, UI, UX product in so many different ways to lead people somewhere. Like you are guiding them and you play with their psychology. You're manipulating them. I know it has a negative connotation, but ultimately it is a psychology game, right? So it's very, very fitting. And mood, I mean, it's nice, right? Like the market is psychology. Like it's such a exciting word. If you think about it, it has so much to do with crypto as well. Like one day we're up, one day we're down, market sentiment. So there's definitely, I think when I saw that typo, I was like, oh yeah, this is genius. I love it. I always love psychology. It was, it's always been something that, I felt like really close, and it just, but yeah, we did not pay it. We did not like pay consultant or brainstorm about it. It was just an accident. Pretty much.
I'm with Jay. I think that's a good happy accident to have. It played right into it perfectly.
How did Liquidium? How did you guys find the name Liquidium?
Jay, do you want to take that answer?
We spent hours and a lot of money for people to find the name. No, we just I mean we used ChatGPT like from the beginning, right? And it has been pretty bad, but like in finding names, it was pretty good. So we had like brainstorming sessions and so on. Um, and then we kind of wanted to position this like, okay, liquidity, people can get liquidity, yada 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 yada. And then in the end, like the whole team back then, we were like seven-ish people, six, I don't know, or even less people. Um, we then said, okay, Liquidium it is. Since then, obviously, we did a lot of rebrands. Like there's like an OG logo. I don't know if I have stuff here, but like it's an OG logo, and then we rebranded to the orange one, obviously. But that's how we found Liquidium, and I still love it. Yeah,
I mean, you guys
not
have a
bad,
pretty
huh?
catchy, memorable. It's a pretty memorable name if you think about it. Liquidium. It's good. It has
It's
that.
kind of
It's
long.
it
It's kind of
flows.
long, right? It's kind of long, but like people get used to it. So
Yeah. Now you
I'm
have
happy.
Lick, the mascot, as well. So
Yeah, on that note, I think I gave you some alpha, but yeah, we'll definitely have have some exclusive gifts to give out that includes Quid here in Vegas. But we'll talk a little more about Vegas here in a couple minutes. I wanted to actually ask you a question about being a face in Web3. How do you view, I guess, the content creation aspect of things in this vertical versus even like Bloomberg or other, I guess, like even Instagram or Web2 type platforms? The approaches, one audience versus the other is always different, but especially like the whole, I guess, psychological ethos of what Web3 and crypto and Bitcoin represents versus, not having that overarching ideal be prevalent in Web2. I was kind of wondering how you view being a content creator in this space.
I mean, So first of all, like I really enjoy creating content. It's something that I don't think I would be doing every day if I, part of me didn't enjoy it. I love talking to people. I mean, I love talking to my reply guys. I feel like I have a community, and there's people that I just genuinely connect with on a daily basis, and I really, it gives me pleasure. Um Beyond, just having to create content. But, you know, why also we do it is that, or I do it, is also because I have a company, I have a brand. It's going to be easier for people to connect with me, with Mood Labs, through me than through our Twitter account, which is a brand. It's just inhumane, right? Like, unless we would have, like you guys have a mascot, there's certain things you can do to personify it. But having a founder that is present, that's part of, the community, is something that really gives an edge as well. And I think it's something that, is not only relevant and useful for Web3. I tell this to my friends as well, even the ones that are not entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, I think at this stage, like, you kind of have to become, like, and this is like a tough ask, but we are in an age of, founder slash influencers. The new influencers are founders, and this is what people want to see. But even if you were stuck, or not stuck, or just willingly, maybe, because I left that world and I would never go back to corporate. But and I see all my friends are stuck, but they're not. It's their choice, obviously. But for the ones that are happily, in just a 9 to 5 corporate stable position, at the end of the day, like, the building a personal brand will give you a certain ROI. It will give you leverage. The data you want to ask for, a pay increase, or you want to actually maybe, switch careers, have like a different job in a position. If a company needs to decide, needs to pick someone that for a more senior position or more junior, it doesn't really matter. If they have to pick between the same set skills, but someone that has a brand and a strong following to join their team, and someone that is a nobody and doesn't even have a PFP on their LinkedIn, they'll go for the person that has, brand presence, because it's going to give them visibility. It's like free marketing for them. So this is, something that I think is really important to think about, is that yes, it takes time, and it is very exhausting sometimes, because there's days where you just don't want to tweet, you don't know what to tweet about, you don't want to create content. I create content, by the way, on, like, I try to be on all platforms. So more successfully on Twitter, of course. My Instagram is private for friends, but I guess I will start opening it up. LinkedIn, I'm very active. There's different sides. Sorry?
So I can vouch for some bangers on that Instagram.
Yeah, no, we're connected now. Yeah, you saw the Bally banger. I think that video is still going.
I wasn't gonna mention it by name, but yeah.
That's also on Twitter, but on TikTok, by the way. So I'm on all. I haven't been like, I've spread myself a little too thin, but I am regularly creating content on LinkedIn, the Twitter, Instagram, and then TikTok. I haven't posted a video in a while, but I should. Yeah, the point is that, like, it gives you leverage, it gives you access. People will respect you, legitimizes you and your business if you have a brand presence. And that's something no one can take away from you. If tomorrow Mood Labs fails for whatever reason, and hopefully not, but I'll still have my community, my brand, and so will you. So it's definitely, it's something that I still do every day, and I enjoy and I have fun. It's not easy. I mean, there's days where I'm just exhausted and burnt out. I just want to tweet, but then you take a small break. But it's worth it. It is 100% worth it.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any more to say on that. I completely agree. I think for everybody listening, if you are building a brand, if you are, doing ambassador work here and there, creating content, creating posts, yeah, definitely put in the time and continue doing what you're doing, because it's definitely seen, especially by, people like Cam here, who run various, agencies, organizations that help place these kinds of people in the community. So the more that you are putting in that effort and being consistent and being around, It's just better for you personally in your education, but better for your stock in general when, and if you do want to find, whether it's a job placement or a position or even part time work or something like that. I know it can be for sure daunting to build from zero on social media platforms, especially if you have like background knowledge in other verticals, and then come into this vertical where maybe some parts of the process are part of the repeatability of it, but just the content always needing to be so fresh and be so on point in Web3, because the tech is always changing so fast. There definitely, at least in my opinion, there's a little bit more attention to detail. But if you're willing to put in that time, then it really opens up your opportunities in the future. So, yeah, I'm completely with you on that.
For sure. And also crypto, like, it's such a fast-paced industry. Like, your Twitter and your profile is social proof. It's proof that you are able to do a certain type of work, especially if you want to work, in marketing and comms, like even in just joining a team for whatever role, like showing that you are aware of what's happening and you're not living under a rock. And you know how the meme, it's something that already no one can take away from you. Like the conversation we would be having with clients are very different today than when I had under 1,000 followers. Like we would get, honestly, like for real, we would get, ripped off. Like sometimes people wouldn't pay us. It was more difficult back then, honestly, to like have leverage and stand up for you if you're nobody, because like people think they can just step all over you and you'll disappear and you won't say anything. So that's one thing, like, if you're in it for the long run, this is a rough industry. It's not easy. There's things you can do to make it simpler, and build a brand, build a community, find your people. Like it can also be fun. There's like so many positive things that I think come with doing that. But trust me, in the beginning, like it was tough. Like we got, honestly, like sometimes just like exploited just because people thought like, oh yeah, nobody is, you can just take advantage, and it's what you have to learn, and then you just use it as a motivator and you grow. And now, I think I have like, I'm close to 10K followers. I'm just so proud. Honestly, it's like gonna be literally good
this month. Like, can we get you to 10K by Vegas, please? Oh
my god, I don't know. I might have to run and get weird. I went viral like the other day. It was fun. But yeah, no, like that's what I'm saying. It's not for everybody. Just put energy and time where you see best fit. Just know that there's a big ROI that comes with just having a brand, and it's something no one can take away from you. So it's definitely very empowering, and I do encourage everybody to do it, and it will benefit you, your career, your business, your work, just for the simple reason that like people know who you are. They'll just open up your DMs. You won't end up in the archive, or what is it, like hidden chat.
Unread, yeah. Oops, I have a terrible.
Yeah, so.
Camskiiii, I have one question here. I wanted to ask, when you mentioned LinkedIn, because I was very curious. I'm one of those people who are like deep in the crypto DJ, so I hate LinkedIn. But when you mentioned that you constantly post in there, that was interesting, because I was like, how is the ROI like that, on LinkedIn? So that's interesting. Very interesting.
It's great. I mean, it opens you up to a whole different type of, like, first of all, my profile on LinkedIn is very different than, on Twitter. I do like should post a little bit on LinkedIn sometimes, but I'd say like you'll see a different side of me. Oh yeah, I see Dante in the audience. What's up? Like you'll see a very different side of me on LinkedIn. Also, I have all my let's say like TradFi friends on there from back in the days who like see what I'm doing, and they're like, it's the girl that left for crypto. So it's like really fun to just have. But the thing is, like, it's a different type of audience. It's way more professional in that sense. You obviously have a lot of scams and like whatever, but let's not talk about that. But the real people on there are, it's a professional network. So you get to connect with people that you may not. And also like everyone's docs, it's just easier to reach people. We have gotten a lot of, calls, some deals coming through LinkedIn, or just having our business, be more legitimate in a sense because we are there and people can see us. I think it's also something that, is very underrated and people tend to hate LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is alpha actually. Like I think it's a whole unexplored sort of platform, and the fact that there's not that much competition because crypto people hate it. I mean, to me, it's just I see it as opportunity. And I have I have a LinkedIn engagement group. So if anybody wants to join and get started, wait, actually, let me send my LinkedIn in the chat so you guys can see it. But I do have a community of Web 2 and Web 3 friends that we support each other, get over the cringe, and it helps. It's like a small community just for LinkedIn people. Yeah, like I think, but again, like, and it's so easy. Just put some text into Claude and draft something up. Also, like, Shudu, you have so much data and analytics. You could be like printing like LinkedIn content that people will actually read, and you have it there, do it.
Yeah, no. When you said put it on Claude, I was like, that sounds very LinkedIn-ish. But I would make sure. I would make sure to actually start posting up stuff there. That's cool.
I mean, you have to make it personal. Like people can. It's not because you're on LinkedIn that people are not used to using AI. Like it takes half a second to tell if like a post is written completely by ChatGPT, and it's very off-putting. Like the rules still apply. The same thing as, if you're creating content on Twitter, like you can't just start like blabbing, putting on a huge chunk of text, make it like, e-readable. Like people don't read whether it's on Twitter or LinkedIn. It's it's same viewers. But the type of content can be a little bit more informative, analytical. But I do post sometimes things that I post on LinkedIn on Twitter and vice versa. It's just sometimes I adapt it a little bit, but it's I think it's something that is to be leveraged and will only bring you connections. Will basically help your professional career. It's just gonna make your life easier. People will see you as like, oh wow, he's got doing something. But if you want, you can. I can share it's on WhatsApp though. Share your WhatsApp link, and you guys. I think James, you're in it, but I never. You're in there, but you don't really post much, do you?
No, I sure don't. I haven't posted much on LinkedIn at all recently.
I do purchase chat, so this is like, it's really tough to get these like niche communities going. When you have a chat, like if it starts going dead and you have to nuke it. I have had an active community for it's like over 6 months now, and I'm so proud. It's like my little project when it works, and there's like quite a few.
Again. It was nice doing that. I just fell off. It's like,
just start over again.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to. I gotta get back in front of the normies.
We can even do like a screenshot, literally a screenshot of our call, of our stream, or whatever I call it here, and just post it on LinkedIn and
Facts.
Do it.
Oh, no.
Actually, I'll do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Let me do this.
One thing I wanted to touch on before we start making our way towards the end of the show here is the upcoming event we have in Vegas with Trio House. Let me make sure I share the correct screen here.
I can't wait for Vegas. I'm so pumped.
Me too. I'm stoked. I dropped the link here in the chat. I'll also be posting it on Twitter again, I think today, just in case you guys don't have it. but you can see the link up there top. You can manually search it if you want. It does say the event is full right now. I do see some of you guys in the chat, but we will be working with the trio team over the next 2 weeks leading up to the event to open up some more spots, as there is, some constraints around how many people can be on the property and in the house, of course, fire safety type things, but also we want to make sure that the people registering are people who are actually, one, going to be in Vegas, and two, actually serious about coming. So we will continuously have that on a rolling basis there. But if you're in Vegas, definitely come by. There's going to be multiple events at the house over a couple days. This Bitcoin Beach event is actually just one of the events. I'll let Cam, if you want to talk about the trio stuff, I'll let you do that, or I can let the trio squad take over that whole aspect of things. But they've got a couple cool events going on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so Mood Labs is Trio's marketing partner, as you all probably already know. I don't think it's a secret at this point, but what I want to say is that they've got some pretty sick events planned. The guys have rented the Mike Tyson villa, and it's going to be open to the public for 2 days. And we're going to be having the Bitcoin Beach, with Liquidium, Bitflow, and obviously Trio. There's also, I see someone saying
gonna be on there too.
PC.
I see
PC saying
I would love to hear
there.
on the menu.
There's I think there's pina coladas. There's all sorts of things that I think are going to be available at the Trio house. There's a brunch. There's a croissant and coffee with Inscripedia and Jern. There's a trio night with puppets, the Based Angel barbecue, and also the trio night. I'm actually really proud of the flyer that we designed, because that was like moods, and I thought it was like really cool. Let me bring it up.
Yeah,
I'll send it to you.
Do you just want to share?
Have like a ravey style, or like I'll just send it here in the chat. Maybe you can like show it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, I love this flyer. Like, this is, if you hand me this, I'd be so down to go party at this.
Let me see. Let's open it up and see what the hype's about here.
Now we have Bunzi and Rare Skrilla that are gonna come. They're gonna. So it's gonna be fun. Also, just if there's a queue outside, don't worry. There's like other. So it's not on the strip, but there's other parties going on, literally next door. So for whatever reason, if you can't get in, like, don't worry, there's other things to do as well in the neighborhood, even if it's not on the strip. So there's going to be so many things. I think, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, get ready for pool floaties, how do you call them, inflatable thingies for the pool. We'll be there. It's gonna be fun. Can't wait. I've never been to Vegas. It'll be my first time. I think that's what I love about crypto conferences. They just take you everywhere, and you get to travel the world and visit and like go to the coolest places. Like, it's always the sickest venues. We're so blessed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm exhausted, but like it's so fun.
I was gonna be my
Still recovering from
question. Are you tired of them yet, or are you still going?
I'm not tired of them. I'm just tired forever.
Yeah,
but
welcome to getting old.
I'm still recovering from Token. Token was great. It was exhausting, but it was like really fun. And so, like, I live in Dubai, so it was home. Very honestly excited. I haven't been to US in like a few years. I think it's gonna be fun. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
Someone said borrow beyond borders. Shudu said borrow beyond borders also coincides with Vegas. What is that?
Yeah, so that is actually I don't know, Shudu, if you have the tweet on hand real quick. That is the first tweet we dropped from the rebranded Liquidium Fi account, which is hinting at something we'll be discussing while we are on stage at the Bitcoin conference. So we'll be able to give everybody the full information at that point. But I did drop I think yesterday I dropped a post. It was like counting down from like 336 hours because that was 14 days from yesterday, which would be when we speak on stage. A bit of a nerd. But yeah, we're going to have a really, really fun announcement that is going to be game changing for our side of things and for as well as the user side of things, of course. But we're just stoked to be able to talk about this. But neither Shudu or I can really yet, or else we'll be taken out back of the Liquidium shed with the 12 gauge.
I don't even know what it is, to be honest. Don't mention me. I have no idea what it is. Please don't ask me.
Plausible deniability. I love it on you, Shudu.
I see Dante followed me on LinkedIn. I'm gonna send you the invite if you want.
No. In these parts, we don't thank Dante. In these parts, I'm like, Dante, you didn't already follow Cam on LinkedIn, bro? What's your problem, dog? What's going on?
But he follows you on Twitter.
We pressing. No.
Acceptable.
No. Don't let him slide. He OG enough. Dante will be in Vegas.
Does he deserve? I think Dante deserves an invite to the LinkedIn. It's called LinkedIn Mafia. That's like.
See, I was just about to vouch for him, and then he said he's unfollowing me. So
I'm following you. He's unfollowing you on LinkedIn. It's over.
Hey, that's all right. I'll talk to your superiors at Ducat. Don't worry.
Oh my God.
He said, "Okay." Wait.
Are we fighting? Are we seriously fighting over LinkedIn?
Yes, because we love Dante so much. We got to hold him to a higher standard than the rest. You know what I mean? I expect a lot of him. I expect the most out of him, actually. We love you, bro. Yo, you already know what it is.
Does he get an invite?
Oh yeah, he gets big invites.
Do you want an invite? Do you want to post?
You can give him 10 invites.
Let me see. I do purge the chat from time to time. Like I will remove people that are inactive. James, I don't know, by like but for the I don't know, something saved you. I might have like not seen you there, but you're still in. You haven't posted in a long time. You're at risk. I'm just saying.
I'm avoiding it for the moment. I'm dodging. I'm ducking and dodging. So that was also one.
All right, let me.
Dante, we gotta make sure we get our shit up, bro. We gotta make sure we post because we gonna get cut in this mug, bro. I'm already making us look bad, but if we both don't post, man, it's GG's for us.
Yeah, you guys need to like hold each other accountable.
Buddy system, yeah. Did you post on LinkedIn today, bro?
I did today.
Nice. See?
It's not the stream that you were, the direction you were expecting to go towards.
Smart. Yeah.
So like you guys just announced, Liquidium WTF for cool going degen, and then we were talking about LinkedIn.
Oh, how funny the tides have turned. Yeah, I think this is a good spot for us to wind down. Dante is still looking at LinkedIn, bro. LinkedIn was 5 minutes ago, dog. No. We're going to go ahead and wind it down. If you haven't already, jump in and register for the event in Vegas. If you're coming, we'd love to see you. If you're going to the main event, we will have a booth with Xverse. So come check us out over there. Yes, I did design a new shirt for the Vegas trip. I think I showed it off on here one time, but maybe I'll give you guys another look at that next week. But
can you hold some for me? Because like last time I wanted, like, you guys had like some really cool merch, like a t-shirt in Amsterdam, and they were gone before I could get my hands on one. So I reserve, like, please. I will break my no merch policy for Liquidium. I promise.
As the designer, I'll make an exception for you. So I'll hold them on the side. And I'll also hold our other surprise that we have that involves Quid. I held one of those as well. Looking forward to giving those out and
Like
seeing people's reactions when they see what we got
my
here.
my son is he gonna get a friend? Is that what you're
What
saying?
kind of friend, Cam? What kind of show is this? What are we talking about here?
No, as in like are you guys making like plushies?
You're asking me to like give you specific details about a surprise right now on air with 500 people watching on
Okay,
Twitch.
well I want one.
Uh,
True.
so
I need
I will give you the new apparel and the new item for sure. I'll hold it aside. What size? What size shirt? It's like Asian sizing. It's manufactured in China.
so medium.
Medium. Perfect.
Medium is good.
Done. Consider it done. Good thing you said that too, because we actually ordered the lowest amount of sizes in medium because most people wanted large or extra large. So you get a medium.
Perfect. They're all for me.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna have to split because I wear medium too. Shudu, Mr. King Analytics, do you have any final words to leave us with here, good sir?
I
No,
see him
man, like I don't want to
typing.
be here anymore. You're just no. I stopped typing because like you guys are just saying very controversial things. Now you just said we ordered the least amount in small or medium, and I'm thinking so everyone in BTC5 is overweight. Is that what you were saying? Like this is like such a controversial show at the moment. I don't want to be here anymore. I
No,
feel like
bro. I literally had this conversation like over the last few conferences because I think it's so funny. Most people in crypto are very slim or short, and most people want larges or extra larges. And I'm like, I guess the style now is to be more baggy. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's some size
no, they're
discrimination
like
I'm a fashion person stand for. Yeah, Dante's the exception.
it's
He's 6'4", 265, pure muscle. Like he could have gone to the NFL, and actually, I think he had a contract for a second with the Chicago Bears. But yeah, I think his knee blew out or something like
Wait,
that.
just
oh my
wanted to let
word.
everybody know. Dante,
Maybe they are ordered.
I think we need to get Dante on on stage here.
Dante's always a lot on
James,
stage.
maybe they are ordering large because of their future backs. Maybe this is a sign that bull market is coming. It's getting ready to be like, maybe, maybe. But
I
anyway, I
like
have
that
no final,
idea. I'm
no
with
fun.
that. I'm gonna run with
I
that. I
have no,
like that.
no final words. It's been good being here. Thanks, Kamski. This is definitely based. So yeah.
Yeah, Cam. Any final
Thank
words?
you. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah.
No, just thanks for having me. It's my first time on the Liquidium Lunch Club, and yeah, it's an exciting time to be here because you guys have so much coming up. So we'll definitely, notifications on Liquidium, and I can't wait to party with you guys at Liquidium Beach in Vegas. So
Let's
it's only in
go.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I
Oh
know.
my god, I
I
have to start
know.
packing again.
Me too.
But
Yeah, we appreciate your
but yeah, I
time and
can't wait
thank
to
you
you
for
guys.
coming. And can't wait to hit it up in Vegas too. For everybody else, make sure you do follow that Liquidium Fi account, as the original account is now Liquidium WTF. So make sure you go follow Liquidium Fi and notifications on because it's gonna be a fun one. And until next week, I'll see you guys on Twitter Space. Peace.